Okay, we're going to be watching apparently the most insane F-15 rescue mission of all time. This is surviving Iran. I'm glad you're here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited to see this. This is an animated type video, so I know this is going to be cool. I know this is going to be a good one. I'm glad you're here. Before we click play, I would absolutely love it if you guys could click a like, maybe click a sub if you're not yet. Let's do it.
How did the U.S. pull off one of the most daring rescue operations in history behind enemy lines? It comes down to a strict code the U.S. military lives by.
What is that?
Leave no man behind.
Okay.
They will literally send dozens of attack helicopters and over 100 special forces and Delta operators just to bring one person home.
Good.
The mission started when an aircraft went down. After both crew members ejected, the pilot was successfully extracted, but the weapons systems officer was injured and stranded. His survival training instantly kicked in. He trekked all the way up to a rugged mountainous ridge and activated his beacon, just as IRGC militias began closing in on the crash site. The CIA was one step ahead. They initiated a massive deception tactic, a ruse designed to make the IRGC search entirely the wrong location. When the enemy forces...
I'm going to assume that this was really recently. Like, you know, maybe within the last month or so. Damn.
Finally realized they had been tricked. All hell broke loose. They swarmed the mountainous ridge surrounding the injured officer.
Oh, you motherfuckers.
Just in time, special forces swooped in on low-bird helicopters, laying down heavy covering fire alongside A-10 Thunderbolts and MQ-9 Reaper drones. But as they moved toward the extraction point, everything went...
Hey. How terrifying are those sounds, though? Listen to that.
MQ-9 Reaper drones. But as they moved toward the extraction point, everything went wrong.
Oh, no.
Proving the military is willing to burn a $100 million aircraft just to save a single fallen comrade. This is stage one. When the jet went down, both crew members ejected. The pilot was recovered within hours.
Did they get shot
but
down?
The weapons systems officer wasn't so lucky. Wounded from the ejection, he landed in an incredibly rugged mountainous region. Look at the map here. This is the crash site. And this is exactly where his survival training kicked in. His immediate objective? Get to higher ground.
Man scaled the mountain.
Despite his injuries, he hiked over 2 miles and scaled a 7,000-foot ridge line. While dodging capture, he managed to trigger his emergency beacon, pinning U.S. forces so they could begin tracking his location. But
can you imagine the adrenaline running through his body? Man's just ejected out of a fighter jet after getting shot down and has to parachute to the floor and then climb a mountain while injured. That is insane.
You couldn't just stay on the radio. His communication had to be sporadic if he transmitted too often. The IRGC's signals intelligence teams who were actively hunting his frequency would pinpoint his exact coordinates. Then comes stage 2, the CIA's deception game. To buy the downed officer time, the CIA launched a massive disinformation campaign inside Iran. They started leaking rumors that U.S. forces had already found the WSO and were attempting to smuggle them out on the ground. It worked perfectly. This phantom ground exfiltration successfully diverted Iranian military resources and attention completely away from the actual extraction site. That brings us to stage 3, the tip of the spear. It's 2:00 a.m. The skies over southern Isfahan and Kogiluyu are usually dead silent. But tonight, the U.S. military's most elite operators, the Delta Force and Navy SEAL Team 6, are launching a massive heliborne assault.
Boys.
They arrive in MH-6 Little Bird helicopters, absolutely armed to the teeth with miniguns and missiles, built for agility and tight mountain...
Missiles. That little helicopter has missiles on it. Our biggest aircraft carrier, the HMRC... Not HMRC, that's HMS Elizabeth, I think it's called, don't even have a missile on it. It's got flipping AK-47s.
Supporting them are the MA-60 Black Hawks or Pave Hawks, designed to drop in special forces and pull them out. And they weren't alone. Miles above the pitch-black mountains, dozens of U.S. military aircraft, including HC-130J Combat Kings and EA-18 Growlers, cast an invisible net over the region. They unleash a storm of electronic warfare designed to completely blind Iranian early warning radars, all while an MQ-9 Reaper drone kept an unblinking eye on the wounded WSO.
Guys, what is a WSO? Wounded Surviving Officer, maybe? Is that it?
The US literally set up a temporary forward operating base inside Iran. They seized an abandoned agricultural airstrip, just 200 feet wide and 3,900 feet long, located about 14 miles north of Shiraz city in the southern Isfahan province. They turned an empty Iranian field into a U.S. staging ground.
Jesus.
Here comes stage 5, Despite the odds, U.S. Special Forces successfully in helicopters navigated the jagged landscape below radar level and reached their objective, establishing a defensive perimeter around the wounded WSO. But time was up. Just as they prepared to grab him and get out, the horizon started moving. IRGC ground forces, popular mobilization units, and local militias were rapidly converging on their exact location. What happened next was an absolute slugfest. A massive hours-long firefight erupted right in the middle of the day. Look at this ridge. They were surrounded, taking fire from all sides. U.S. operators laid down a withering wall of suppressive
Get the missiles going, helicopter!
The commandos locked down a 360-degree defensive perimeter, guns up, air cover overhead, designed to annihilate any IRGC element that stepped within range.
Yo, this video is insane, by the way. Props to the guy who animated this. This is awesome.
But it was the loitering U.S. aircraft overhead that truly tipped the scales. To keep the extraction corridor from collapsing, American air power continuously hammered the advancing Iranian units. Assets like the A-10 Thunderbolt rained hellfire down on them. The sheer volume of close air support from the A-10's Little Birds and Black Hawks pounded the surrounding Iranian positions, taking a heavy toll and resulting in reported casualties across areas like Couser and Kaken. That air support bought the ground teams the one thing they needed most: seconds.
Time.
Under the umbrella of that intense air cover, the Special Forces helicopters finally managed to load the wounded WSO onto an extraction bird. Just when it seemed like they were in the clear, things went terribly wrong back at the makeshift landing strip near Shareza City. According to the Pentagon, 2 of the transport aircraft slated for the evacuation suffered critical issues and couldn't take off.
Oh shit,
Suddenly,
no way.
It was a race against time.
What happened?
The IRGC was speeding toward the airstrip in a massive convoy. Commanders decided to send 3 more aircraft to rescue all U.S. military personnel and the pilot.
Just abandon the ships?
In a scorched earth move, U.S. forces blew up the 2 disabled transport planes, leaving nothing but charred remains for the IRGC. The wreckage of a
They blew up their own stuff so that the IRGC couldn't use it. Oh, that is one of the most elite shows of, hey, this is what we can do if we really want to, man. Our balls are massive. Go away.
An H-6 Little Bird helicopter was also spotted next to the remains of HC-130J Combat King 2 rescue aircraft that were destroyed by U.S. airstrikes to prevent secret military data from falling into IRGC hands.
Wild.
But how did all of this actually started? The Zagros Mountains, Kermanshah Province, near the Iran-Iraq border. This terrain is characterized by jagged peaks and deep, narrow valleys. It is a tactical nightmare for aviators, but provides excellent terrain masking to hide from
like a Grand Canyon, man.
However, it also allows enemy forces to set up devastating short-range anti-aircraft ambushes.
Oh shit.
But how did the U.S. lose an F-15 E-Strike Eagle, an A-10 Warthog, and nearly a combat search and rescue team helicopter and a Reaper drone in a single night? Well, this is how it started at 2:15 hours. A flight of 2 F-15 E-Strike Eagles crosses the border at low altitude. A pilot and a weapons system officer were flying their target, a deeply buried command bunker.
A weapons system officer?
They used terrain-following radar to hide in the valleys, staying beneath the gaze of Iran's long-range Bavar 373 missile network. But what happens when they have to strike?
I don't know, you tell me.
To drop its GBU-28 bunker buster,
the bunker busters.
Has to pull up and moved above the mountains. This is breaking the radar horizon. In a gorge below, highly mobile, Tor M1's surface-to-air missile system is waiting.
Oh dear.
It achieves a lock, and 2 missiles leave the rails.
Shit.
The pilot dumps flares and pulls high GS.
Dumps the wreck flares, get them out!
But could they evade the second? Well, the second missile detonates on proximity, causing catastrophic hydraulic failure.
Oh, fuck.
The crew ejects into the pitch-black mountains, and the Sandy Protocol is immediately activated. But this is the U.S. military, and they will move heaven on earth to rescue a fallen combat.
This is all for one person, by the way.
Because the crash is near the border, A-10 Thunderbolt 2 operating nearby are diverted for resort, also called rescue escort. Down below, Iranian quick reaction forces are closing in on the downed
Fucking blow them up!
The lead at 10 executes a low-level strafing run with its legendary 30mm Avenger cannon, neutralizing the conflict.
That sound is wild, man.
But how did this aggressive maneuver come at a cost? The noise and tracers give away its position. As the A-10 banks hard, bleeding off airspeed, For context, Iran recently flooded the battlefield with these Chinese shoulder-fired missiles, weapons that are essentially reverse-engineered clones of Russian Manpad. The Iranian soldier fires a Mossad-2 infrared guided missile. At this altitude, countermeasures deploy too late.
Oh,
The missile shreds the right turbofan engine. But can the Warthog's legendary armor save it? Yes, the armor did save it from this missile launcher as it flew even with a damaged engine. Because of the armor, the pilot managed to point the dying jet toward a plateau and punches out. But just how many crash sites are we looking at? The F-15E crash
they're everywhere, man.
southwestern Iran. Specifically, local reports and verified wreckage photos place the crash site in the rugged mountainous terrain of the Khojaly and Boyar Almad province, while the A-10 Warthog did not go down over the Iranian mainland. After taking heavy damage during the search and rescue escort mission, the pilot managed to navigate the crippled jet away from the mountains and towards safer airspace.
Damn.
The rugged battle-damaged A-10 eventually crashed in the southern waters of the Persian Gulf, specifically near the Strait of Hormuz. Now this at 3:15 hours.
This is the 3:15 in the morning.
Search and rescue package launches. These are highly trained rescue units built for this type of rescue mission. It includes an HC-130.
So this is actually all going on during the night, in the depths of night. Probably can't see 3 feet in front of you on the floor in this area because it's in the middle of nowhere, right? Can you imagine getting shot at with a missile at 3 o'clock in the morning? Holy hell!
Combat King. This acts as an airborne command center, followed by 2 Asia-60 helicopters. Call signs Pedro 11 and Pedro 12.
11 and 12.
They fly under the radar, topping off their fuel in midair to maximize loiter time. But will they make it into hostile territory undetected? Well, they push deep into the Zagros Mountains just as dawn approaches. 4:45 hours. Pedro 11 locates the A-10 pilot's inferred strobe. Pedro 12 circles above, providing overwatch with its 50 caliber machine guns. Pedro 11 flares for landing, and the Ps hit the dirt to secure the pilot. Then this happened to hidden Iranian Zu-23 as Soviet-era anti-aircraft gun opens fire from a concealed hideout.
You sneaky little shits!
Heavy armor-piercing rounds tear through Pedro 12 as it orbits, resulting in severed transmission lines and an injured crew. The pilot wrestles the crippled chopper into a hard-controlled crash near Pedro 11. The rescue mission is now a fight for survival, and Pedro 11 is the only way home.
Sitting in a cave!
Under heavy covering fire, the crew of the downed chopper sprints to the surviving bird. But how did they stop the enemy barrage? Then at 5:02 hours, the C-130 overhead coordinates an immediate strike. 2 F-35 stealth fighter jet loitering high above in stealth overwatch drop precision munitions, silencing the anti-aircraft gun.
Fuckers.
With the A-10 pilot, the PJ, and the crash chopper's crew crammed inside, Pedro 11 is maxed out on weight. But how do you fly an overloaded helicopter escape the Zagros Mountain? This is how they do it. Pulling maximum power, the engines screaming, they barely clear the tree line and dive back into the valleys, racing for the border. By 5:30 in the morning, Pedro 11 crossed back into Iraqi airspace. Battered, overloaded, but alive. As stated, no one gets left behind. The F-15E crew is still missing in action, requiring a massive JSOC raid the following night. And if you don't want your data to get compromised by spam mails, jump calls, and online breaches.
VPN?
An F-35 was also hit during one of its mission sorties. To properly analyze this incident, you need to understand that there are 2 distinct types of missiles: radar-guided and heat-seeking. The F-35 was designed to be practically invisible to long-range radar, but it wasn't built to completely hide from heat-seeking missiles. So how exactly did Iran missile manage to bypass the stealth technology of the US F-35? Well, the secret lies in a major vulnerability, that is its heat signature. Its geometry and radar-absorbent materials make its radar cross-section incredibly small, essentially rendering it invisible to traditional early warning and targeting radars. To give you some context, this is how a plane's radar signature compares to a bird's. But the F-35 is powered by a single Pratt & Whitney F-135.
Wait, let me see that again.
The F-35 is powered by a single Pratt & Whitney F-135 engine. It's small, essentially rendering it invisible to traditional early warning and targeting radars. To give you some context, this is how a plane's radar signature.
An F-35's radar signature and an F-22 Raptor's is smaller than a bird. How? How have they done that?
compares to a bird's.
Mental.
But the F-35 is powered by a single Pratt & Whitney F-135 engine, one of the most powerful fighter engines in the world. The F-35 is heavily optimized to defeat radio frequency radar like the billion-dollar S-400 and S-300 missiles. However, stealth does not mean completely invisible. This engine produces a massive heat plume. Instead of using radar, modern air defense networks utilize infrared search and track systems. The answer is this short-range heat-seeking missile like this one. These passive sensors scan the skies for any heat anomalies. Because infrared search and track systems emit no energy themselves, the F-35's radar warning receivers would not alert the pilot that they were being painted by a target lock in the same way a radar lock would.
Damn.
But how did the missile lock, and how did the F-35 use evasive maneuvers? Once an infrared-guided missile is launched, the dynamic of the engagement changes to a race of physics and countermeasures. When the missile's IR seeker head locks onto the massive thermal output of the F-35's engine exhaust.
It's over.
But the detection, the F-35 is equipped with a distributed aperture system, 6 infrared cameras positioned around the aircraft that provide a 360-degree spherical view. The distributed aperture system detects the intense heat signature of the incoming missile's rocket motor and instantly alerts the pilot. To break the lock, the pilot executes high-G evasive maneuvers while simultaneously deploying flares. If the missile tracks the flares but is already within a lethal radius, its proximity fuse will trigger the warhead. The resulting shrapnel and shockwave can cause significant damage to the aircraft's control surfaces, stealth coating, or internal systems without scoring a catastrophic direct hit, which perfectly aligns with reports of the F-35 sustaining damage but safely executing an emergency landing. But what are flares? These pyrotechnic countermeasures are made of magnesium or other combustible metals that burn at temperatures exceeding the aircraft's engine heat. The goal of the flares is to overwhelm or confuse the missile's IR seeker, forcing it to chase the decoy heat sources instead of the jet.
I thought there was going to be shrapnel hitting it. That's why I was like, oh no. But it was just... Okay, I get it.
I believe it's the 358 anti-aircraft missile or the SA-67. The 358 is a unique hybrid between a loitering munition or kamikaze drone and a surface-to-air missile. But how does it work? It flies at slower subsonic speeds and can loiter in a designated airspace in a figure-8 pattern until its optical and infrared sensors detect a target.
Just flies about.
If a 385 missile or a more advanced high-speed indigenous...
It's kind of terrifying, though, isn't it? And the thought of that, there's just a missile doing 8s in the sky. Just waiting for something to lock onto, man. That's terrifying.
IR-guided surface-to-air missile was guided by a ground-based IRST network. It could engage the F-35 entirely within the infrared spectrum, bypassing the jet's radar-evading capabilities entirely. This incident challenges the long-held doctrine that 5th-generation fighters can operate with total impunity in contested airspace, highlighting the evolving threat of infrared detection. But it has its advantages as it cannot hit fighter jets far from its radius of launch system.
Okay. It can only go a certain length.
We make original videos from scratch and animated by humans. So
that was flipping wild. I didn't speak much during that because I was locked in, but my God. I won't lie, though. I'm not surprised that the US went to that extreme to bring one of their own home. That whole thing was for one person, by the way. Can you imagine what they would do for 2? Holy hell. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the insane F-15 rescue mission. Explained very well, by the way. That video was absolutely insane. That's a good channel. AI Telly. Check them out, guys. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching today. Obviously, I don't watch the news. Don't really know what's going on in the whole world. But what is going on? Can you guys tell me? Is there still a war happening? I seen something on Twitter talking about there was some sort of agreement about the strait or the Strait Lake or whatever it's called. So if you guys could, maybe inform me of what's going on in the comments, I would appreciate it more than you know. Either way, make sure you like a video. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see my face again. Don't know why you would, but it'd be great if you did. You have yourself a good day.